The single most requested video since I started my YouTube channel is finally here. Let's talk about the iPod Touch. The iPod Touch brought technology from the iPhone and made it more accessible to more people. Because it didn't need to be a phone, the iPod Touch could be thinner and lighter than its predecessor, and I for one think the black band around the display still looks really nice today. The iPod Touch shipped with much of the software from the iPhone. It included calendar and contacts, calculator, mobile Safari, and it introduced the iTunes Wi-Fi music store. For the first time, a user could browse and purchase music on the go with the device in the palm of their hand. A year later, in September 2008, Apple unveiled the second generation iPod Touch. It featured a brand new design with a curved back, a new volume rocker, and a speaker for, quote, casual listening. A year later, Apple stayed with the same design for the third generation iPod Touch, but with a big push on gaming. It came with a much faster CPU and GPU that allowed complex apps and games to run smoother than ever on the small device.
The fourth generation iPod Touch brought a bunch of goodies. It had a slightly new design, the Retina display from the iPhone 4, and for the first time, a set of cameras. There was a selfie camera for FaceTime calls, and this rear shooter that captured 720p video and very small still images.
Apple took its first year off with the iPod Touch in 2011, but was back in 2012 with an all-new device. After unveiling the iPhone 5 and 5C, Apple shared that the new iPod Touch had lots in common with the company's new phones. The rear camera got a huge update, now shooting 5-megapixel still images and 1080p video. For the first time, the iPod Touch came in colors. Each iPod Touch also came with a small circle on the back that was actually a secret button. With a firm push, it would pop up, allowing the user to slip on the Wii-like wrist strap Apple called the iPod Touch Loop. In July of 2015, Apple updated the iPod Touch one more time, albeit via press release. The industrial design was very similar to before, minus the loop, but the inside was all new. This iPod Touch packed the A8 processor from the iPhone 6s, much upgraded cameras, better Bluetooth, better Wi-Fi, and more storage space. As we celebrate the iPod Touch's 10th anniversary this month, it's a little sad to me that the most current model is really 2 years old. Now, the iPod Touch is the cheapest and most portable way to experience iOS, and it's great for kids, but I can't help but wonder if the clock is ticking on this product. Will it join the iPod Shuffle and the iPod Nano in their demise? Or will Apple continue on its pace of having an update for the iPod Touch every 2 to 3 years? Time will tell, but to be honest, I'm not super optimistic.